feeling pretty good this evening. Oh, we're feeling pretty good as a whole. Sometimes good is deeper than what meets the surface, too. So, anyways, I'm back with another topic. I'm going to jump straight in. We already know I'm audio host Arthur Tedasheri. I share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly right here at You Will Make It TV. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You guys are welcome to do that. And when you become a subscriber here, it's not just following updates to know the updates, but it's actually getting a first hand experience, front row seat experience to what inspiration does mean to some of us. You know what I mean? And how without it, maybe that's what people think too, though. Like, I don't know. I know what had inspired my mission, but I think people think the more inspiration they kill, the less people are inspired. That's crazy. You can never fully control what inspires people, whatever. But anyways, this will be an insightful topic tonight because we're going to talk a little bit about more quotes that help shape society and why. You want another juice? Um, I know you didn't finish it. I think she just likes opening them at this point. Shout out to our viewers in the chat tonight. Even you, sweetie, you can give mommy a like. Shout out to me in the chat. I'll probably do this one for about 30 minutes. Thank you, Pooh. Don't spill it. Don't spill it. Oh, yeah. So if you see my thumbnail there says, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But this insightful topic tonight, of course, is not about Vegas or what. As a matter of fact, I've never even been to Vegas. Not yet. I don't know if I want to go no more. All the things I've heard, I don't know if I even want to go, boy. But I'm telling y'all, that's not what this is about. I just had to make a jokey joke. This is not about, for the record, this is just my commentary and reaction to older proverbs and quotes, that help shape some of our lives. I wouldn't say all the quotes helped us, though. You know what I mean? That's why I'm re-looking at not the one about Vegas, but the one, because they say the same thing about Vegas. I'm piggybacking off of the topic I just finished doing about what does MAGA really mean, but now I'm piggybacking off of that, because in that stream a second ago I was saying how a lot of older family households were teaching the kids at home and the husbands and the wives, you just kept your business at home. And it's okay to say that about Vegas, but oh my God, the revelation, the thought I just had, the light bulb that just went off about this, like, oh, okay, so it's okay to keep stuff in Vegas. Way in Vegas, where people don't even be from. They just go out there and hang out. Some people, shout out to the Nevadians of the world. I'm sorry, of Nevada or whatever. Or I can't say of the world, to the people of the world that's been there. Woo, woo, woo. Did y'all stand by the quote? I mean, did you hanging out there? Did it stay out there? Feel free to leave your comments in the chat or in the comments section at the end of the stream. But how was your experience in Vegas? Once again, this topic is not going to be strictly about Vegas, though. It was just a comparison of the two, and it helps me to give a better insight on this topic. Why would that quote only apply out there? You know what I mean? I know generally, like, technically it doesn't, but you can let that same thing apply where you want it to. Now, I'm not saying the quote was right or wrong. I'm also not saying it's right or wrong for all your business to stay in your house just because you say everything that happened there should stay there, right? But going back in history and how households seem to have more successfully functioned, period. Yeah. This was more of an old pattern way that they taught their young ladies and young gentlemen when they were raising them. Um, it ain't. I don't think. I just think they took more respect in it. You know what I mean? It never said in any religion I've read yet that You know what I'm saying? Like research I've done, like what's a culture that they believe that if you tell your business something gonna happen. You don't find that in any religious or practice or culture. Where you do find it is in groups and stuff that just decide that. What you mean? They decide that hey, if you're in this, you don't say nothing. Like let's really talk about it. Pacts are real. PACT. What's the other thing? Like when you make certain commitments and oaths to stuff, I respect those in the world that have. It just shows that you had the strength to keep your honor and your respect and your dignity and what you have already, you know what I'm saying, committed to. Same thing with a marriage, same thing with certain relationships in our lives. Once you make up your mind, I feel like some people take pacts with their job and organizations more than they take their marriage seriously. And the marriage come with vows too, VOWS. Okay, that's another commitment where y'all need to come up with what y'all are doing. I don't know if people do this at the marriage altar before they get married or after, but you gotta come on to some type of common ground somewhere. Like, hey, don't y'all say that's probably one of the number one reasons? I'm gonna give my opinion. That's one of the number one reasons. They got all kind of reasons why marriages are not working out no more. And I think they're just economical or social issues. You know what I mean? I think it's that too. Like people have different opinions of what should stay private and what shouldn't. And it shouldn't be that hard to keep relationships in our lives private. It shouldn't. What y'all think? But all those that have experience with everybody knew about their relationship, even especially the celebrities. Look, everybody knew about Jeff Bezos getting married recently. I don't know if he wanted it to be public news or not, but it was public news. People were definitely concerned. They already, to me, already just in your business. That is that man's home life too. It would have a lot to do with his home. I'm sure they're not going to be home every day. When you're married to Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or something, just at home all the time. Just cause, just cause y'all married, it's funny to think about. You're not gonna be at home all the time, but on fancy trips, now people are concerned about. You gotta watch this stuff. They already talking about, yeah, the wedding was worth this much, and it's like now you gotta try to keep that uphold what people knew. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna have $1 billion wedding and then 20 years down the line, y'all fall flat broke on your faces? It's embarrassing, right? It would seem to be embarrassing. Nobody wants their marriage business all out there in the streets like that, I'm sure. And then I said, well, let me come back and do like an integrity inspirational topic really quick because I think the older generations were actually onto something. That does not mean, I think we just as a collective have gotten lost as what's okay. Private and secrets is two different things to me. Some things we were just naturally born with, like your private parts. That should stay private as long as you want it to. I don't care how advanced technology got, cameras and videos out here, and everybody want to be in everybody's business. The reason they were able to keep more of their business at home back then, we just see more people be. Some of this stuff probably been going on. Things that people say, oh my God, because everybody put their lives in different stories. People think they don't put their life. They be like, I don't put my life on the internet. Yes, you do. If you posted, you just had a margarita at the Chili's Bar and Grill, you just posted your life on the internet. Even if it was just you, because some people take their cell phone to date. Somebody asked me earlier, is lifestyle, shout out to this person, is single a lifestyle? I said, as a matter of fact, it is. It is. And some people actually very much enjoy it. Like, they take their cell phone days shopping. I respect the selfish people of the world because selfish is not the only reason that a person be single. I'm just saying, I do respect the ones that's like, if they feel like they're in a place of their life, like, I'm selfish right now. At least they know that, and they're living alone, and they're taking care of themselves and loving on themselves for a while. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean? But just because they're single, I wouldn't say they should be more vulnerable or susceptible to like exposure. Come on, man. This can't just apply to Vegas. They want to put a stipulation on where things should stay. Now we've gotten lost where things, like I said, to me it's the difference between private And what was the other word I used? Oh, yeah, secrets. You would say, no, privacy and secrets are the same. That's two different words. First of all, it's two different whole things. A secret is only private if you allow it to stay that way, period. That's a secret. Private, like I said, some things we were just naturally born with, like our private parts or something. Like, that's private. That's private. What do you call it? Those files that are classified like private, period. Now we're talking about people's business. Because other things, it ain't your business hell, how else does it become your business? Yeah, you go to Vegas, it's your business. You were out there and whatever you did out there. That's what they mean with that quote, I'm sure. Um, I was saying, why would that only apply to Vegas though? I'm finna stay on topic here. I get a little distracted right before I'm finna go in deep. They must know I'm finna go in deep about this, because there's a whole point with this. Now, when people got confused with what should be private and secret and the differences, that's why they're confused. I was just saying, the older generations, if you got a grandma right now, a great grandma you can talk to, a great 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 grandma you can talk to. Some people, they do live longer lives, and ask them, they're gonna tell you. Back then, the business, their personal business and their house business, stayed at home. Don't think I don't know. Don't think older people hadn't already told me that. That's what I'm saying. And then you just slowly see over the years how society not only is still changing but has changed. Here, it's like they found creative ways to change that. I'm not gonna say who they is, like who sits up and think about, hey, what's a creative way that move your foot, baby. What's a creative way that I can still get in somebody's business even though I know they have the right to privacy? It just sounds stupid. Hold on, boo boo. It's like trying to still go find out what somebody did in Vegas. Like, it's not impossible. It's just like against the status quo. Like, it's never been known for people to actually go against the grain and go try to find out what somebody was doing in Vegas. It was a easier way for me to show an example of the depiction I'm talking about when we talk about. Because if people think that people being in your business and having an influence on your family life and business doesn't matter, they're crazy. That's why I say it's all these illusions that surround certain freedoms too that just make me wonder. I'm not gonna point out, that's not my job, but I can say I feel there are illusions that surround certain freedoms if we don't look closely enough to them. You know, how you're gonna bypass them? It ain't really bypassing if it's a freedom. That's what I'm talking about. Like, why is there so many illusions around things? But anyways, let me keep giving an example. So they just said back then they kept their business in the house. Get up here, mama. No. Here. There you go. What part was on? Uh, Cause they probably like, what she mean with her business? You just didn't hear in the schools back then. They went through enough trying to fight for social justices and equality. They were too busy with other things. Is that what it is? People just have more convenience, time, and freedom in their hands. So now we coming after what everybody do in the secrecy of their homes. I know the ancestors, some of them, the older predecessors, they're probably laughing because it was just different in their day. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter the struggle, maybe only the closest people to them. They did not sit there every time they struggling as a family dynamic or going through something with their cheating spouses or going through something with one of their wild teens back in the day. The whole communities didn't know about that. Now, you know, if it's a small community, y'all know how that is, small town. You know, they can't say that about Vegas. I don't know. I'm just making jokes too. But small towns, they have always said that everybody know everybody. Even if you think you like, oh no, I don't deal with nobody in this small town. They know your business, bro. Like it's just it's a different day. You didn't just go out trying to boldly proclaim, yeah, my man, we're having issues and he's cheating with Sally down the street. Men still cheated back then, women too. Um, I don't know. That's just interesting to me. Like people had more of a respect of it ain't so much as, oh, let me try to parade and make my home look perfect. They didn't even have IG yet. And their homes weren't perfect. It's like, I got to remind people, they didn't have IG or Facebook or nothing. You saw how they presented themselves outside of the home, and that's it. People wasn't letting people all up in their homes back then and letting people get close to them. They had, times were just different. They did visit, I'm sure, have tea parties, gatherings, dinners with neighbors and stuff like that, but it wasn't to just gather and see what information everybody could get ahead on the next person. That is one effect of the internet I do see. It's like, what can I show? What can I get up close and see that person ain't showed on the internet? Bro, they don't have to show everything on the internet. That's what I'm telling you. Ask the older generation. They didn't talk about their business at all. Back then, their kids got discipline. I don't know, the wife mess around and get mad. She found out Bobby been down the street pillow talking with Sarah about their business in the home back then. That, if people want to keep pretending like, oh no, that ain't an issue in family homes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why I'm finna get a little deeper in the topic. I told y'all every time I'm going deeper, I get a little distracted. Yay. That's why back then the men probably did. They felt like the provider and everything. They probably did have more of the freedom as far as sedentary lifestyle. Somebody made a joke the other day, like sometimes you learn in life that married people are the most single people in the world. They act like it sometimes. That's actually not good. That statistics are turning that way. You know what I mean? I just said on the last segment, like, when did identity just become personal information? Like, a lot has changed. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, they had side babies, or they in the army and wars back then. They had in another country too. People business still stayed in their house. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like nobody was ever perfect. It wasn't about that, and wasn't no IG and stuff out there back then. They still weren't quick to go run and tell each other. Come on, bro. Everybody kids went to school together for the most part. I'm trying to think back, probably not too far back. With American history, maybe just like recently, in the 1930s and 40s. It wasn't even like that then. Everybody pretty much had the same. It's no religious practice at all. Everybody was on the same page with that. You kept your business in the house. Now I was finna get deeper into it, because it's like depending on what you were doing back then, you could get looked into. Like Muhammad Ali, for example. He wasn't really just known to be a criminal or nothing. It was just like, we all know his story. You know what I mean? And why he might have been facing jail time at one time, just standing up for his rights and different things. But I want to keep it more about a family dynamic, because no matter what these men stood up for back then, they knew when they made the choice to stand up for it. The women too. You think Rosa Parks didn't know she had a family that loved her and she loved them, as she was actually going through certain moments of social injustice? She knew she had people that loved her. She knew she had a home to go back to, and she still stood up. I mean, rhetorically, she stood up for her rights at any given moment that she had to, or in that moment that she's most famously known for. I don't know where that came from, where people think, well, no, you should prioritize the two. Prioritize my social justice versus my love. That don't even belong in the same categories. They don't even. We should always prioritize that. But there's never been like a similar stance unless it's a big group protest or something like that. Like everybody's stance towards social equality or social justice to me is going to look different sometimes. What do you mean? Rosa Parks didn't do exactly what Martin Luther King did. Martin Luther King didn't do everything Malcolm X did. Everybody stands for their social injustice differently, but we continue this pattern of like, well, I want to find out their home life. Like, what? Yeah, they had a rumor later trying to come out. They thought everybody would care to hear that. Talking about, yo, Martin Luther King was cheating. Like, bro, who wants to hear that? I'll listen for educational purposes, but really, is that educational? You educating me about emotional despairs he might have experienced while he was married. You rather talk about that rather than the social injustices he fought against and the social equalities he stood up for. You rather talk about, his kids. Well, was he really a great father? I mean, come on now, that's one another those parents I was trying to describe sometimes. Like, people are going to give that opinion when you do work like that. And that couldn't be considered volunteer work sometimes when you're fighting for social equality, social justices. I've thought about so much. That's volunteer work. Like, who just pay you to go out there and stand up for something? It depends on what it is, I guess. That usually starts off as a volunteer thing that you're doing. A volunteer stance. Maybe for yourself first, then for others. But I did notice that, like, it's not been one person really. Like I said, it's very few single people that just like, oh, I'm gonna stand up for social justice today. Like, most people in what they do in career and life have families. That's what I'm saying. They have families. They have kids. They have husbands and wives. Okay, so they supposed to bring them in everything they do? That was my question. That was my question. It's like I gotta find different creative ways to ask this. Because people will try to project a certain narrative or stipulation or opinion on you, and we're living in a whole different time now. That's what I'm saying. We're making America great again, or are we trying to progress? Where was it utmost progress that we're trying to get back to when we had to overcome so much to get to this? You see? That's what I was wondering, you know? Now, what nobody thinks that's interesting? Why? And this, once again, IG, TikTok, none of that was out yet. Period. And there was no Facebook where Martin Luther King could get on there and snap a picture and show everybody what he's doing. You think a photo was on his mind when he was actually working? I have to speak this with dignity, because let's really think about it. You think he went outside to smile for the cameras and that's it? Wasn't no IG back then. You see? I've just been thinking about some interesting things. If we think Malcolm X was outside for the cameras and photos, that's just like crazy, bro. That's like, how did some of these breakthroughs happen with major court cases and people being framed and people being stolen from and people being treated unequal? They wouldn't have made it past those barriers if they were just going outside for photos. But it's like, with all the work people do today, we understand photos and videos, once again, when it comes to media, communications, information and stuff like that. But it's still like the balance beam. You know what I mean? People trying to make the balance beam disappear. Like it's not supposed to matter in certain people's lives. But when you really balance the two, that's why I don't care what they ever pull out of the files about certain people. JFK or Martin Luther King, it don't matter what you pull out, bro, to show their imperfections. You knew imperfections existed. That's why they quote exists about Vegas to me. They know people can get wild if they want to. They know people like to party when they want to and celebrate. That's why that quote about Vegas exists, in my opinion. That ain't just some Vegas thing. Because why wouldn't that apply to other stuff? Now, do we see how kind of toxic that quote is, though? And see, people been playful about it for so long. The quote actually is toxic. I see where it's toxic, but I see how it's supposed to be funny. You know what I mean? Um, but it's not supposed to be funny when it comes to our home lives. Like, oh, what happens there, stay there. But then something wrong with you if people still believe it. Like, you're not supposed to be talking about your home life. And then if you don't, see, they don't know what they want. If you don't talk about it, they feel like you hiding something. I mean, they don't even appreciate home life no more then. We've forgotten what it's about. We really have. Martin Luther King himself had a home. Do it become a home like it was when you're doing something outside of your home though? They be like, who's actually on the streets doing something? Who's actually writing books? Who's actually out here trying to be a teacher? Who's actually out here trying to lead people and do stuff, right? Well, he was one of those people, but he wasn't. And there was no IG back then. Once again, he wasn't exempt from people at some point in his career saying, well, I want to know, is he cheating on his wife? Supposedly they were recording calls secretly and everything, like, just to find out, because they didn't want to believe nobody's that perfect. We got to find some kind of blemish. And where do they look first? In your home. Well, what consider your home at that time, I guess. Because where does a man like that live? He traveled to speak. You understand? He traveled. He was one of those out there actually doing the work. I'm not saying that don't mean you're exempt from people getting in your business. That's what I'm pointing out. And now, even Donald Trump is going through it, man. Like, I'm just saying, whose situation was worse? Because there was no internet then where people can just say stuff about you. I mean, people spoke up about how they felt about the civil rights leaders anytime. There was no internet to talk about it, though. They talk about it. They sit around radios. Y'all know how they used to listen to the news and stuff. Radios, newspaper. But I'll never be a part of that part that say, no, people, family, whether they choose to talk about it or not, doesn't have an effect. I think that's toxic to tell people not to talk about. They can talk about things if they want to. When it comes to family life, if my life don't show that, I actually believe people can do that. Why y'all trying to suppress people and make them hold in? What happened at home, stay at home. What happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas. What happened over here should stay here. Everybody really moving and acting off of that too. That's how everybody moving now. Like, but something wrong with you because you talk about it. You actually don't mind speaking up. Hopefully, my point, once again, our streams are not to target anybody. We're not talking about nobody specific. These are my reactions and commentary from my own intellectual thoughts, thought up insightfulness topics. Okay, why would what happened in Vegas stay in Vegas? Like, what else is they gonna try to make like that? Like, okay, kids, don't say what happened in school. It stays here at school. I don't want nobody brainwashing my kids into that. That's where all that confusion come in. It's like the places where they should be able to speak, because most every parent gonna be like, how was your day at school? I'm just using an example. Most every parent that's ever been a parent that sent a kid to school is gonna tell them, okay, have a good day in the morning. And after school, they ask them the same traditional question, how was your day? And we shouldn't be trying to suppress people from telling me how their day was, or trying to play a parent where they see their child react a certain way. Well, that would tell them they probably didn't have a good day. You see, sometimes not saying nothing, say something too. Like, even that's finna be played out. Like, people trying to keep people silent, that's a whole sign to people. That's a whole sign to people now, because silence speaks volume. Like, this the day we live in. Who the hell is being silent and the whole internet is out here? You see what I'm saying? Martin Luther King didn't have no internet. This was footwork. Rosa Parks didn't even have a car. You know what I'm saying? They want you to feel so separated from society or something. Like, society is the way, and if you don't get to be a part of that, you're missing something. You know what I'm saying? If anything, sitting on the outer skirts a little longer will show you more than you had ever paid attention to. So is it really toxic to teach people, like, yeah, what happens here, stay here? You don't tell people this. I say it depends on the situation, because boundaries are real too. And the quote about Vegas is not about boundaries. That's why I say it depends on the situation. That quote about Vegas has nothing to do with boundaries. It's more about fun secrets, I guess. When I go to Vegas, I will talk about it. It's not staying in Vegas, so I hope I have a good experience there, right? The day I finally visit, right? I don't know. Everybody's experiences are different. I hope I have maybe similar or better experiences than people had. Some, they go gamble, they go party, they go sightsee. I might want to see some Presley history or something when I go out there. Shout out to Elvis Presley and rest in peace to him as well. We never know who out here being guardian angels for people either. You know what I mean? People be like, there's no way Elvis Presley's your guardian angel. I can believe what I want to. Y'all don't know. Some of these people, maybe they didn't know us. Like, I just feel like maybe we in another place for real. Maybe a higher, like one of the highest levels of consciousness once we are quote unquote not living anymore. We probably just be in another place. Like, maybe you can see people that you never seen before. Elvis never seen me, but he see me today. You see, that's something I believe. Not just Elvis either. And then I've heard I don't think I have it. It's people that believe they've gone like to heaven or hell. They have near-death experiences. And they believe, they see certain things or they feel certain things or whatever. And this one man testimony, he was like, he seen Elvis. Now that I don't like to get too far into, because I'll never deny or, just confirm somebody's vision. It wasn't my own. It wasn't my own dream. I'm not going to tell you didn't see what you didn't see. But I'm not just going to like fall for anything just because you said that all the time. I was telling one of my daughters earlier, because she made a point about something. And I was like, yeah, baby. It's actually a whole scripture in the Bible that say in the last days it's going to be an uptick, like a increase in what they call false prophets. It's actually very scary to think about. And Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, some of those civil rights leaders I just spoke on, they never came out here proclaiming to be prophets either. It's really interesting to think about it. Okay, so to know kind of like a pretense of something that, hey, there will be like this certain sign, like you're gonna see more people than ever saying, no, God told me to tell the world this, and God told me to tell the world this. Let's not be deceived though, because he did say he will pour out his spirit among all flesh. Like it was going to be an uptick also in knowledge. See, you got to put all the facts together. Don't just look at the part where it's going to be false prophets and stuff and Antichrist and all of that. Let's look at that too. He said it would be an outpouring of knowledge and a spirit of truth in places it had never been before. You see what I'm saying? Like he just going to pour that out on everybody. I don't know exactly how the scripture words it, but it's pretty much along those lines. Like, y'all young people are going to dream dreams and visions. They're going to be more spiritually sensitive than ever. Let's say we don't believe in it at all. It's still interesting to know that there are historical texts that say this. It's like prophesied. It also say it's going to be like an uptick in like false prophets. It's one thing if it said prophets. It literally says, yeah, the confirmation is crazy, but it literally says false prophets. Like, we're going to see more of them than ever. Everybody want to talk about that too. That's worth talking about. Like, you're not supposed to follow everybody that said God said or God told me this. Actually, most of the things God told me I ain't even spoke on to the world yet. That's probably a reason why. If I believed that it was God and he spoke it to me, why would I share it? But there might be others believe like, no, baby, you're supposed to share that. It's not just for you. Right? Like, it's really, really deep. If anything, I'd rather not look like a false prophet. So you might not even speak on, I'm just speaking for me though, for example, right? Like, even if I believe I've seen certain things before it happened, or I feel like I know something, like, I wasn't I am one of those quick to try to go out here and make a million people believe me about what God told me about something. Or what God showed me about something. I'm still not like that. I might bring it out a certain way, or I'm getting a little more comfortable maybe speaking on certain experiences. And it's never for the reaction. Once again, if I believe that first, all I can do is share it with you, right? I can't force you to believe what I say happened to me, boom, boom, boom. And I'm careful with that, long, because I read that scripture since a kid. It do say that, like, it's gonna be, this time was gonna come where just about everybody and their mama talking about their prophet, and they know every next step of what's finna happen. I mean, what need would we have for God if that was true? If he needed us to clock his tea, if he needed us to monitor his progress, if he needed us to watch his, it's almost as if people know something coming though. Blessed are those though he findeth watching too. But it's like, what is your intent of watching? I'm sure God knows when, there's many forms of watchers. Actually, you're more prepared. You're a wiser person to be watching, waiting for something. I ain't gonna even lie about it. That's my opinion about it. But I feel like our intent of watching matters too. Some are watching and waiting to see God's word manifest. It's one thing for our words. People will teach you all day long. Look how your words can manifest stuff. His words can manifest. And that's great. Even if I'm one of the most powerful manifestos around, they say there's a God though. When his word manifesto, let there be light. And there was. I get excited thinking about stuff like that. Like, let there be darkness, and there was. Let there be waters, and there was. Stuff like that. Oh, those weren't the only words he spoke, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It said there would be an uptick, an uprising, an increase in the presence, in our presence of false prophets, right? He never said how. Like, a lot of us didn't even know it would be an internet today. Ask people 25 years ago if they thought social media and the internet would be like it is today. People didn't know that, so they don't know everything. It wasn't no, I might be wrong. Like prediction teller saying one day it's going to be a great internet in the world. Find the person who predicted it. Because I want to talk to you if you know. Like, I know a few people who talked about the internet before it was here. I ain't met them yet. You see what I'm saying? You can never fully know. Yeah, that's crazy. That's like trying to predict a whole creation that's not even yours. Like, it's just crazy, bro. Only the creator can do that. Only the creator know what they can, like, even the fullest potential of something they created. Only a creator could know that. Only a creator could know. That's why it's like I believe in destiny and fate in a way. Fate and destiny. I believe those are real. Because it gotta be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can a person get shot and the doctor said if this bullet would have pierced you one more inch, you would have died? That's why I believe in fate and destiny, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, if I believe in fate and destiny, I have to believe in miracles too. You can't have one without the other. Cause like, what is that? What do you call that then? They tell you, yeah, if the bullet would have penetrated you one more centimeter, it would have crushed your lungs. Some people do have stories like that. Like, yeah, if you wouldn't have made it to this hospital in 5 more minutes, something serious too. It be something serious when they say stuff like that. Like, oh, your bleeding was gonna go fully internal. You were gonna have to need another organ if you hadn't made it in 10 more seconds on this ambulance. I don't know why doctors be telling people that, but doctors, they can be honest sometimes. Honest still doesn't mean that they control the fates and destinies of people. I'm sorry. Even doctors have seen them the ones who know miracles firsthand. I know they do. One doctor I was following on YouTube, he hasn't done it yet, but he said he was gonna share a story of a man that he felt like he knew was supposed to die. And, he was the one operating. And, it was just an example. Like, doctors see miracles firsthand sometimes. And sometimes they be confused because they like, now, usually when people come in here with this injury, they'll tell you too. Like, most people don't make it past 2 weeks. So woo, woo, woo. I enjoy talking to doctors in that way, though, when I do get the opportunity. I'll be curious out of respect, like what it is they believe, because they don't have to be spiritual or religious at all. They still practice helping people to heal in some way, shape, or form. It's like ultimately they're full what they do. Shout out to the chat. Who's having fried squirrel and devil buzzard eggs? Sounds yummy. How does fried squirrel taste? One day I was at a intersection at a red light, and this man ran across. He kind of ran across the car. He was using a crosswalk, but I heard him say something. It was so crazy. He was like, "I'm about to go find me a bunny to eat." It was just crazy. I think I know why I heard it. Uh, I think I know why I heard it. You know what I'm saying? I always seem to be in the path of hearing or seeing something like that, and this was even like 2 years ago, so I still remember it. Like, that man was serious. He had like a spear-like stick in his hand. He was finna go find a bunny. He said it. He crossed the street. He was just, it might have seemed to be talking to himself, but he was excited about it. He's like, he was like, yeah, I'm finna go find me a bunny to eat. I'm like, wow, did I just hear and see that like that? And it was already showing me something, but I'm not gonna go too deep into that. I just feel like my calling calls me all kind of ways. You know what I mean? And it's not just about like eating the wildlife and learning how to survive out of wildlife food if I ever had to. That man taught me something that day. Go find you a bunny, a squirrel. If you have to, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't know what to do because I wouldn't want to handle. That's why, like, it's women though. It's women in certain parts of the country that do that. It's usually a man thing though to like go hunt the food and do that part. I could probably help season it, season and maybe get the things together, the spices. I would not want to handle like just straight roadkill like that personally. I never really thought about it. I know I would be. It's not because I have a sick stomach either. It's just the regard I have for life. We even decided today, me and the girls were talking about it. I think we're just about done eating meat here. It's going to be a kind of challenge transition, but we're going to stop eating meat. But if you have to, though, you know what I'm saying? It is roadkill. Some people know how to gut the animals. Everything you got to do, shave the animal, gut it. Ew, it just seems like a gruesome process that I wouldn't want to, like. And yes, surprisingly, I am from the country, but I never got that country with it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the closest is fishing. Even when they start cooking the fish and they live fish like that, I don't want to be around. When they would be boiling the lobsters and doing all that, I don't like being around it. It's something about that to me. You know what I mean? And maybe the whole time it's just like I'm a vegan at heart and didn't know it. I don't like being around life that I know is just alive being cooked. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't like it. Some people have no problem. The crabs be still pinching and everything. I'm not the crabs, the lobsters in the pot, and it's like me, I can't be around that. I struggle actually. The last time I tried to do a turkey, it wasn't that I didn't have the recipe or I couldn't do it. It was just like, oh my God, I don't think I'm supposed to be eating meat unless it's fish or something else. It was just like, for some reason, the way my eyes were seeing it, I'm like, this was actually a live animal just not that long ago. Like, what did this poor animal go through? That's what was going through my mind. I never told nobody. It's like as I was rubbing the turkey, trying to season it, I tried to keep it together. Like, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. But really, I was a little queasy. I was a little queasy, like, oh my God, the head was just right here. And I could see the body. I could see it like when it was once living. Like, how do you explain it to people? And there's nothing false prophet about that. Like, I enjoy turkey, just eating it, you know what I'm saying? But it's something about that part. Like, when it's a raw animal still, like, fresh after the kill, I'm not good with that. You know what I mean? But I'll never forget that man. He was crossing the street saying, I'm finna go cook me a bunny. And I know he was serious. He had a spear stick in his hand. He probably was just gonna throw it and aim it at the a squirrel or a bunny and eat it that night, and I just have this conscious about it. Like, how are people really out here living out? That was a few years ago. So just imagine now. Ain't nothing wrong with it. What y'all say? You know, actually, it's better to have those skills. We never know what might come our way one day. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be with a group of people who know how to do that. I don't know, because some people are like, would you eat a rat if you have to? And I'm like, hell no. No. They like, what if we cook it real good, season it? And some of us, we probably have been eating them and we don't know it. People be really biting it. I don't know. That's why I know I'm almost through with meat, personally. Like, now when I bite into chicken nuggets or chicken tender, I really don't know anymore. You just sitting there chewing it, talking about, this is good. It tastes like, it tastes like chicken. You don't know what that is. And it's just the safest way. But I'm learning more and more every day. It is a way, it is a diet I can transition to if I'd like, with no meat in it. Probably beans. I'm gonna have to do something. Oh God. Cause it's starting. I don't want to run the truth no more. Like, I have a higher regard for life than that, and I don't want to pretend to the animals, to the wildlife, like I don't see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it was just really weird. I'm sitting here really trying to rub down the turkey, and it was just like I got grossed out. And they like, girl, it's just meat. It's just meat. It's a turkey. Like, I'm like, other women, they just get down, get in there, and get it done. They never asked me how I felt about it. They were more judging. Well, how'd she do her turkey? You know, I had a bad recipe together. It, tell you how to rub it down with some wine, make it real tender. Certain spices, make sure you get some lemon. I had the whole recipe. I even found a channel that I like to reference to do some of these recipes, and I still got grossed out. Now a ham, it's different. Even when I get those, it already got to be sliced. Like, if it looks still kind of like the animal, like some of these YouTube channels I watch, they're roasting a whole pig and all this stuff they be doing. It might be an experience though. I'm gonna have to get out here and travel to some islands and see how they do certain stuff. But it does freak me out. I'm saying it before I even experience it. And the other people, they can eat octopus, all that. I would just be grossed out. And they like, what if you don't have nothing else to eat? It gotta be something. Berries, cucumbers, I don't know, for something fulfilling. Peanuts too. It's a lot of stuff I be thinking about. Like, you can just I'll probably survive off of some peanut butter for some years before I try to go some of these routes where people be talking about. But yeah, y'all, I don't know, when we moved into this age where it's cute to like yeah, I'ma just put a person home business out there. It's actually funny to me, because I actually remember the old schools telling me, oh, we didn't do that back then. It was like totally against code. You didn't go tell the family business. Any culture might feel that way. Like, yeah, go live your life or whatever, but do not go telling your home life. And people might feel like, well, you told your home life, and it just become a home life war. Even for Trump kind of going through that. It's a little unfortunate when I look at it all the way around. My question overall with this stream is, how is everything staying in Vegas, but we can't keep everything off the internet? We think any and everything belongs on there. How does that make sense? But you would keep a secret for Vegas? No. It's okay. I'm not mocking society in any way with this. It's just like, we can't make that make more sense than the actual home lives being exploited just because people want them to be. They're messy. I know they did it to Martin Luther King, JFK, and it does need to be looked at, because Did y'all messiness trip them up into situations they didn't even have to be in? You know what I'm saying? Cause you're hating on Martin Luther King or somebody. You want to get in a family life. You probably put them in danger. If he was cheating and his wife didn't know about it, why are you so desperate to make sure she knows? Stuff like that. He was a man, but they were saying a man of that caliber shouldn't be cheating on his wife. Oh God, they've been doing it since the 60s, 50s. I was trying to see how far back I can go. Kings, like, depending on your status, I reverence to kings first. I don't know. I guess it depends on the status that people are on. But why would that matter about Vegas and not people's real lives? Like, that makes no sense. I was just thinking back, and I'm gonna keep doing it. It had to be a better place before the internet. And they like, well, it's here, so we might as well make. It's like that's people mentality. It's here, so we might as well do what we want to with it while it is. We can't never have nothing good for long, though. Look what people be doing. I'm sure we could have had Martin Luther King here a lot longer. It's crazy. People be messy. I'm gonna call it what it is. Messy, bro. Because even if you're gonna put the business out there, make it a balance beam. Do that. Because when you do the balance beam to Martin Luther King's life, he did much more significant footwork than just cheating on his wife. Like, why is that even a factor of conversation of what his true character was? Like, yeah, see, he wasn't built for that. He was cheating on his wife. He had many side women. Now, why would y'all want people to know that about his history, bro? And this man's father was a preacher, and people just be childish, bro. Like, they should have been happy to see this man up here, out here doing what he was doing. I just want to accept life for what it is. But, as we know, he did have a lot of unhappy. There were people that are not always going to be happy about the changes that you decide to make with your life. I don't know why I keep referencing to him, but I was thinking of people that I actually read about them, like how people were already busy working to sabotage their reputation. I guess to get them to stop doing what they were doing. It's a sad reality to wake up to. Like, really, bro? Even JFK, anybody, Clinton, didn't he go through it too? They always getting their bitch talking about who they cheating with. Like, bro, we're trying to look at what this person is doing with their career and job. If you're not in the background, for example, if you wasn't one of those people when the Kings came to town, Coretta Scott King and the family, if you weren't one of the people offering them biscuits and bread or a place to stay, lodge, let me call it that, place of lodging, transportation, if you weren't with Martin Luther King team at all, helping with the mission, how do you get to speak on that man's family life? Like, how? You weren't one of the ones that make sure they get a free dinner at the diner? You didn't pay for their tour buses? And you think you're finna control what we feel about he cheated? Any man doing it, that's sad. Why does it make a difference? Because it was Martin Luther King. These are all alleged still, though. They say, people just be, some people, they'll say anything. They was gay. Anything to take from the shine of what they were doing. Like, it's a repetitive thing here. But you can go shine in Vegas and it stays there. Make it make sense. It's okay. Some of these quotes, they'll never die because that's just a quote with Vegas at this point. You know what I mean? They don't mean no harm. I know that. They didn't mean no harm. They just like, yeah, Vegas so wild. What happened here? Stay here. Well, y'all did kind of start a toxic cycle with that. Because people practicing that Vegas quote with the wrong things. But they want to be the ones who say what we should speak on and not. Okay, because, if something is not staying somewhere, that means somebody spoke on it, right? Why would that just apply to Vegas? I know I've asked a million times on this live stream, but that's what the topic was about. You see, when they thought I was talking about Vegas, I'm not here to talk about Vegas. I'm here to talk about why is that quote true about Vegas, but not everything else. Well, maybe that needs to go all the way away because you actually want to know what happened other places, but you are right with stuff staying in Vegas. Like that doesn't make sense. The internet got people confused. They want us to be confused with them. We're not finna start that. We're not finna to start it. Everybody don't have to be confused because of internet culture and what. We also don't have to practice the same behaviors that people practice on the internet either. Everybody move different. I don't think people understand it. Like, I've seen this with people lives. Everybody move different on social media just like they do in their real life. They thought they was gonna see you doing what you do in your real life on, like, just how you move different in the world, on the streets, in the communities, in your neighborhood. You move different. Everybody don't drive to work. Some use the Uber. Some what's they called? Ride share. Everybody live a different life. What do we not get about it? What is so entertaining about that? You know what I'm saying? Now, if they, it's okay. I was saying I agree with that. It's okay to move different on the internet. If you wouldn't back then, if they wouldn't tell everybody in what's going on in their house, why would y'all think some of us don't live by it and we're not finna tell you everything in our house on the internet? It was like, well, maybe the worse the situation is, she'll start talking. No, why are you so invested in what people are doing when they're trying to make changes in the world? Not just in their life, in the world. You're like, well, I don't believe you can do that. Well, keep sitting back and watching. But as far as you trying to negatively influence somebody doing it, it's time out for that. Martin Luther King already went through that. JFK went through this. That's why I'm not making it a race thing. It wasn't just black people. People that are trying to make changes in the world. Maybe they are starting at their home. What's wrong? Where else do you start? See, all these quotes is mixed up. They be like, it starts at home. Okay, well, so you want us to want your help on the internet by coming and say, okay, I have an issue with my 10-year-old. I have an issue with my husband. I have an issue with a tissue. Like, come on, bro. Everybody's not running to the internet for advice. I say advice and guidance. All of that is three different things. Questions. You want some advice, you go to Quora. YouTube is more of an informational place to me, personally. People might not know that about me. I've found a lot of information on YouTube. Even if it's about, like, one time, y'all, I fixed a whole leak in my oil tank. It was one of the tanks under there. Hold on, let me slow down and think, because it's a great example for right now. And YouTube helped me do it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, people think you only use it for certain information. That y'all late. I done fixed plumbing issues before. Like, literal things I never thought I would be doing with my own hands. I ain't gonna lie. And yes, I admit, because I'm a woman. Yeah, I didn't think some of this stuff I would be looking up. I was like, how to unclog this or that. I bet you YouTube had at least 1,000 different videos to show me. That's what's even better about it. 1,000 different videos have helped people switch a tire. Yeah, but the leak, it told me what to go get. Some kind of sealant, and they have all kind of different sealant, or they got tape you can use. It's like a heat protective tape. See, all of that is important, but I'm not a mechanic. But YouTube led me. It said now, and it told me, now this can probably get you by for a certain amount of time. Eventually you do need to get it fixed. It tell you within a week or two. So I didn't push it, but I recorded myself doing it at the time. I don't know where that video is, but I just wanted to record. I was like, hey, I told somebody to hold the camera because I'm finna record this. They don't believe that YouTube has information that can help people. The internet is not. It helped me do something, probably put a TV up before. It helped me build a desk before. Like, YouTube has truly helped me become more independent with certain things. It's too late for me to deny that. I'm sorry, like I done fixed tubs, sinks, learned hairstyles. How far should I go? Makeup combos. Oh, don't get me started with the hacks. Y'all know what they call hacks. It's like a faster, quicker way to do something. Like a short term or a long term hack. They got hacks for everything. Help you clean. If it's a stain right now, don't be worried about stains and stuff. If you really need to get down and gritty and get stuff off a wall, a carpet, a tub, it's all the day we live in today is all kind of degreasers, cleaners, okay? Tide to go cleaners just for a t-shirt of laundry. So we gotta understand the stuff we be trying to make people stress about is like stupid to me. You know what I mean? When you stress about the things that can't be fixed. That's what I told myself. Now I don't know if that's the perfect quote for me to be going off of yet, but I'm starting my own tradition with certain things. If I'ma cry and get upset, it's usually because I thought me personally, it's because I thought it couldn't be fixed. Then you get to the place where some things, hey, it was good, it broke. You finna either get something better or you're gonna learn how to fix it, right? Just like with the manual things I was looking up on YouTube, like how to fix a door handle, how to screw drive this in, or how to build this desk. I promise it's a YouTube on there to help you do it. How to fill out this application. It's a YouTube video for that too. Now, I'm not saying YouTube can teach me everything, but it's a powerful, powerful app. Like, even when I was in school, you can look up tutoring classes right here on the YouTube platform. Shout out to all the students that are finna return soon, because it is a good resource. A lot of homeschools, too, use some YouTube video links. That's where Gracie's Corner, Miss Rachel, Blippi, a lot of that come from. Like, and they're right here on YouTube. Ain't nobody sitting up there trying to make them disappear from YouTube. They're teaching kids. They're doing something positive. It's just unheard of for one of those type of influencers to be just going through anything, right? They're more persistent. They're more supported too because of what they're doing there. But I'm just saying, they're right here on YouTube like a lot of the rest of us too. And we appreciate them for sure. All the baby platforms and channels, because I don't know what people thought. YouTube can teach you more than just one span of, and then when I study something, I might be on one thing. It depend on how bad I want to know about it. I ain't gonna lie. Like, some people are knowledge freaks, but I guess what we choose to entertain or what we choose to want to learn about is our choice. That's still a intellectual freedom and right. I might want to research electricity tomorrow. Who's gonna stop me? That's stupid. And then it might get so interesting that has consumed my life for the next 6 months. Every day I wake up, I'm gonna religiously study electricity, and then I'm gonna do it again at lunch, and then I'm gonna do it again when I go to sleep. What a hunger for knowledge looks like, and those that don't be as hungry, or they just you don't even be like that to make people feel a certain type of way. Like, why don't you go get hungry to learn something? That's what it's supposed to do. Inspire you to do that. You might find something deeper that I missed. You might go check out a book that I didn't even know they had that. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't even get that one. But hey, you said you were studying electricity. Here's a book recommendation, Teddy Sherry. But then again, we got all these digital books. Like me, personally, I'm an Amazon Kindle subscriber right now. I don't just subscribe to people on YouTube. There are other subscriptions in the world. Netflix, all kind of apps. Not just these apps you download for games and editing. No, they have apps that give you access to different things like eBay. Amazon Kindle is a good one because it's just like an unlimited library, bro. Like, I don't even have to go to the library anymore unless I just want to print a digital copy. And what's great about YouTube, I can actually read a whole text on another screen on the same device while I'm listening to a YouTube video about something. They just mad. They mad some of us know how to use our devices like that. You can't just assume somebody with headphones on just listening to some music. That's crazy. They could be listening to a book, a video. That's just people being nosy. Some people have AirPods, just the pieces, right? But For some reason, we got the whole like headphone types on, like the old school headphone. And like that person must be listening to music. You talking about me? I might be though. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. Usually when I'm listening to that though, you're gonna hear it like on a speaker. I like to listen to it, but I might listen to it on headphones. The point of those is like a microphone. You can talk on it too. You can listen to things. You can also write. I talked about reading and audiobooks, but you can write as well. I'm finna get a little more swifter, so I'm more proving what I'm saying because I've learned how to do that. But you do got to be like multitasking. But you can't use your phone at its fullest potential. We just think about storage, files, data, but really there's a way you can interact, like use 3 or 4 apps at one time. If it depends on what kind of device you got. You can have one listening to the history of electricity while you're filling out a job application. I can't make this up. While you're checking your email. Technology's great where it's great. I just said, yes, there are a lot of intelligent people. You know, most people, you know what pisses people off more? Somebody playing with their intelligence. Anybody off. Like, this is why. Because everybody wants to claim they're intelligent. Everybody feel intelligent. But this is what I was going to say. Okay, but look what people use their intelligence for. That's what makes the difference. Like, oh, I'm smart. I stole her cookies. Like, okay, bro, anybody can do that. You stole them? This is supposed to help me see your intellect. For real, bro. But you trying to, battle intellects? That's what we're doing today. With the internet, who's still battling intellectually? Like, they could just go to AI, even if you think they're dumb. Whatever answer you think they didn't have, why they can't go get it? It is the age of the internet. So who are we still calling dumb? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like a rhetorical question. That is worth thinking about. You know what I mean? Who are we still calling dumb in the age of truth, in the age of technology? It's even the age of false prophets. I would say you're a smart person if you can be a false prophet. It takes a smart person to hold lie. L-I-E. Anybody you call them, oh, that person crazy because they lied. Like, bro, obviously they're not. It take a lot of brain work just to lie. You see what I mean? But I be trying to show people too, like, you can be on an intellectual level with the truth too. Like, look what people use lies to do, and they don't bother them at all. They like, well, it ain't my business. That's just a liar. I just know you a liar. Your lie didn't affect me. Okay, but it might affect other people's lives. You know what I mean? We wouldn't complain about. That's another people. Didn't I say people hate their intelligence being played on? That means people hate being lied to. Let's think about it. I don't care who you are. Even a child hate being lied to. So to me, it's what people do with their intellect, not so much just, oh, that person's smart, that person's dumb. That's dumb. If you have a conversation like that with me, I'm gonna speak on that. Like, I'm gonna just, not out of like offensiveness or something, I'm gonna give just like, hey, have you ever heard this perception before you call somebody dumb or stupid? Because when some people call them that, they have the jurisdiction to do that. You know what I mean? And I know they sound messed up, but some of us don't just jump straight to dumb. Like me, I give whole liars credit. Like, you're smart. I'm going to tell you that. Other people observation might be like, oh, that's just a liar. No, let's look at this some more. Like, this person, like, I'm a weird person. I might look at that. Like, it takes a smart person to lie. For example, did you eat the burger yesterday that I cooked? The person lied. They say, yeah, but you see the burger in the trash. Instead of you immediately jump into judgment like, oh my God, you're a liar. First, what you should see about that person is they're smart. They're some type of emotionally intelligent. And they put the time in. They put the time, the effort to use their mind in that moment just to lie. Like, you're not crazy for lying. There's usually a reason that people lie. I was sitting here today writing quotes about is that true? Because I want to know, is that quote true? The one that say, what you don't know don't hurt you. I'm still in a deep intellectual space about that one. Some people might say that don't matter. Just live your life, blah blah blah. It matters. I'll look it up for people. Cause it's like a part of me agree with it. No, don't hurt me. Until I look at the Bible and it say actually. See how that quote actually goes against something else. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might believe, but in the Bible, it says, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. Lacking something is going without something. You know what I'm saying? You still might be going, but you're lacking. That's why the ing is there. The lack part is just like if somebody say, oh, I lack this, they don't have it at all. But lacking, you have something to work with. But the ing is insinuating how you're just getting by. You're lacking. Lacking is a verb. And to lack knowledge, that's what God said about it. It's like you're going to become a perishable item. You know what I'm saying? You could be a preserved item with knowledge, but they don't want us to know that. You know, but you become a perishable item, just like certain foods we eat is perishable or non-perishable. I noticed that. And we are the same way without knowledge. Like us as vessels, some might say, I don't see how that person perishing yet. I might say, well, did that person have some knowledge? Were they showing applied knowledge? Like, because that's that person standing on the word of God. It said, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. Okay? But they'll say, well, what you don't know don't hurt you. Ain't that a form of lack of knowledge? Even if it hurts any one of us to see the truth, like anybody who don't want to accept that in their life. Like, no, I just didn't know. I'm all right. It's almost like God putting things in people's face, so you can't say that no more. Like, didn't I already say, you will perish if you lack knowledge? Now, he never said why his people lack knowledge. People teach that scripture different ways. He never said why. He just said if you happen to, or they do lack it. They do become perishable due to lack of knowledge. But what produces that lack of knowledge? Literally, is it a blockage? Is it just a unwanted desire? You know what I mean? Like you just don't want knowledge, so you perish. And then what kind of knowledge matters to me? I don't want to know more about ducks than I know about paying my bills. Am I going to be okay? I done learned every species of duck, the duck language. I done invested all my life into learning the duck. Now, I'm more knowledgeable in ducks, but how is the rest of my life look? Probably perishable like the Bible said it would, because I chose to only invest my time in ducks. Invest my knowledge, my time in getting knowledge about something. Just ducks? A person like me, I done learned about a little more about ducks, pit bulls, and horses all in one day. And still learn some new things, like a sponge though, like SpongeBob, if I could talk to him. Just absorbing it up in different areas, because you were probably a dry sponge at first. And now they like, why this sponge all over the place, just soaking up things? I am guilty of that. I'm gonna soak up some knowledge. I'm gonna do that. I'm sorry. How is that stealing it? Or if you are created to absorb it, how is that stealing it? And I'm pointing out exactly where I wanted to absorb it, right? This hole, that hole. I mean, because if it's not full, a sponge, if it's not fully absorbing something, it's going to be dry in those places. Let's really think about it. Have you ever felt a brittle sponge? Just like hard. It gets very hard, and it's just like, it's still of good use though. That's the thing about it. You can throw it away if you want to. It depends on where you used it. Some people, that's not what this about. I'm talking about the absorption part. Like a sponge's real purpose is to do that. They want to put tricks in even how we obtain knowledge. All I know, I'm not going to deny that. God says we perish due to lack of it. That means not knowing something at any given time. And that should be scary to people. That any one of us can at any time fall victim to something like that. Like just what you didn't know. But some argue, hey, what you don't know hurt you. I mean, what you don't know don't hurt you. You feel me? I've been really thinking about my life. I'm sorry. I'm like, man, is this true? Did I feel better off God just not knowing things? Did I really feel like a better person? No, it can be like a process, a hurtful process. That's all I'm gonna let it be. But the word said I was gonna more perish without certain knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing is a coincidence. Like I was just talking about the bird cooking the turkey earlier, me not feeling comfortable with it. When I had my very last experience trying to cook a turkey. That was not a coincidence to me. Like I felt that for a reason. Everything I felt, like this was once a bird. I don't know why I was feeling like that. Like I just didn't want to like handle it raw, but you had to just to season it and moisten it and try to get the. And I just didn't feel right. Like I could see the legs, the bones. I was just like, no. It felt too close to flesh to me. It was just something about it, y'all. Don't let me give my insight. Like, I could see where the head was gone, and I just didn't like it. And I'm like, well, I'll just start getting my turkeys prepared or something. See, I tried to run from the truth. That's what I'm saying. We was talking about perishing due to lack of knowledge. We don't have to. Or if you notice somebody's trying to keep you in a lack of knowledge, it's like, where is that happening? Because we have freedoms here in America. And you can't say somebody's just going, oh, that person's stealing because that person is looking for knowledge on YouTube. Like, what? What they supposed to do? Go learn? I mean, that's a part of it too. You can hire a teacher, a tutor, somebody experienced, a professor. Then, I mean, that makes your knowledge a little more credible for people. You can say, yes, Professor such and such. I watched Oprah and she taught me this. And Dr. Phil said that. And now you feel like my knowledge is credible because I told you where I got it. You see how life works? It's crazy. And when we get to a point where we're judging, like, I mean, it was already like that. Like, certain books really are forbidden. I'm going to come back and do a topic about that. I can't believe I haven't did it yet. Probably because I was still gathering information, doing my own study. Because how can I give a reaction or a commentary to something that I didn't even look into myself, right? So that's all that be. I might look into something, get information, and that's it. It's still my own intellectual thoughts, my comment and reaction to something. I can never get that from another person because I'ma always have my own opinion. And it comes out so naturally too. Like, bro, how are you stealing information from somebody? You going to read about Dr. Martin Luther King and then going to go write a paper about Martin Luther King. It's still called research. You'll like study, like it's an essay, like, or if you go do a video about it, it's an informational video of what you learned. What did you get out of his story? Miss Arthur Tedder shared with me. What did you? Because I look at Martin Luther King different story than a lot of people right now. I already know I did. What did I say earlier? They was going to his business about who he was cheating with. Not particularly with, but that he was even doing it. Possibly. It's like, what you get out of knowing that? But I'm going to do a topic on forbidden books for y'all here soon. So please, please, please make sure you hit that subscribe bell and that like button. You are welcome to share any of our topics here. But the reason that's important to me, because when I come back with that topic, we're still going to be talking about applied knowledge and the lack of knowledge thereof, how like just biblical texts like the Bible does talk about how people perish. Just like you got perishable food, non-perishable food, you're going to perish. It's already promised. It's already written there, the effects of the lack of knowledge about certain things in people's life. I think they thought God was being selfish, like just talking about knowledge about him and his existence and his power and his love. Like, I think it's even deeper than that. You know what I mean? Like, if we have free will, why wouldn't he want you to have knowledge about things? As I teach it, a study is a study, a practice is a practice. I study things for knowledge. Do I practice everything I study? No. That's crazy. That's like saying I pray to camels now because I studied about it yesterday. How do you even shift that fast? You know what I mean? I mean, people do. They do. You know, they get that moved by whatever it is they're studying. But still, there's a big difference between study. I don't know. This topic might be deep for some people when I do it, but the main goal is to prove that scripture is true. People do perish due to lack of knowledge. That's why God is not gonna. You can be mad at God all you want to be. I don't like that he gives people light and insight and revelation. Why would he preach about the lack of knowledge and what it does to people and keep them in the dark? That wouldn't be nice of his character. Though they do try to paint God in a bad light to me. People even say, well, we have to say that today, but they be like, when everybody that say God, who they talking about? I don't let comments like that bother me personally because y'all been saying God in the court of law and also in the Constitution in different places, and you wasn't asking it about that. Period. Now you want to pick individuals out and say, well, what gods are they talking about? Well, if they throwing up certain symbols and doing certain things, you know who they talking about. When you, it's like, who you talking about? That's what it made me wonder. Like, I'm just like everybody else. Like, what's going on out here, man? Like, we know traditionally when most people say God or they say the Most High God, who they were referring to. But see, there are other things in people's life that's like Most High. That's why I'm actually see people more conscious, like asking more questions like, well, what God are you talking about? Because you might get a different answer these days from people. They just said God. The place I come from about it, I know in the Old Testament it only said God, Hosanna. It just said certain names to the New Testament, but it definitely said a child would be born one day, like a special prophet child. It has many, many scriptures of it, way in many older texts than the New Testament, older books. Let me put it like that. What they call like prophecies. That's a little more than a prediction. I'm sorry. And for anybody who thought, well, what is a false prophet then? I wouldn't say that every predictor is a false prophet. I would not say that. We can all sit around and predict stuff all day long. I think the next volcano is going to grow up in 10,000 years. I think the sky, and I think the moon does this. We all got different prediction opinions, right? Well, and some people, they don't predict at all. They just like to take life for what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe that helps some people. Why be invested in what's going to happen all the time? With a prediction. That's kind of what doctors do too. It's just a great prediction. They're never saying for sure you're not going to make it or she's not going to live past 6 weeks or all of that. To me, is a prediction. The doctor's doing the best they can with a prediction, but it's ultimately life and destiny, and that's where faith and life really shows us some things. Like, the doctors just have a say-so. They don't know for sure. Yeah, I'm not saying don't believe in doctors. Anything, you just want to be careful. If the Bible literally told us false prophets going to be here one day, and everybody really believes it's like they say they do, well, and we paying attention like we say we paying attention, it is a more of a, I put it like this, like spirituality is a very trending thing right now. And I'm actually happy to see it, even if everybody don't believe everything I believe. But here's why. That would mean there seems to be some type of need for sure. Like, people are more leaning on something. It does show that for sure. Like, they have a need to lean on something. That's the thing about the atheist, though. They might believe that they can get through their life without having to, like, whole adulterize anything or put them as on a pedestal as of a god to them in their life. They feel like they can just function. I actually understand people more than they think. I don't even know what that's about. Like, but I do. Like, I wouldn't come just off of, I hate you because of what you believe. I can't be on it. Like, I don't even know. I might not like what people choose to do sometimes or something like that, but I'm not finna whole hate somebody because of their belief. No. But it shows like a need. I think that's why it's got more popular, even if it's like more forbidden things. How did I get on this part of what I'm talking about? I'm gonna be back, probably not tonight, but if it is tonight, that's a special treat too for those who can wake up to that stream. About forbidden books, and like, have we ever asked ourselves like why were they banned, or research for ourselves like why were certain books banned? You know, it got to be something serious if it's whole banned. Banned. I like the mystics in that way, not because I want to just go. I'm actually one of those that believe this. Is why I'm researching. Like, I don't think people believe in forbidden things. This go way back to Genesis. Whether we want to believe that's a book that has significance or not the Bible, just Genesis alone. I heard it was different parts to Genesis too, like part 1, part 2, part 3. That's kind of what we're gonna talk about that on that stream a little bit. But even then, why does it have to be referred as to a forbidden fruit? Fruit. But that word forbidden though. But see, you got forbidden books, forbidden texts, like artifacts that are really hidden or put up away from the world for a reason. This stuff is not a game. Put away for a reason. Not for you to just go, well, I want to see this, I want to study it, and then you actually physically touch it. Some of this stuff wasn't meant to be touched no more. Do we know what the word sacred means? Or it took a lot of work for the people that locked it away to even get it locked away. Just imagine. Like what some of this stuff was doing to people, and what, like, that's why I like the movie Jumanji. It's a good example. I believe that game was not supposed to be, they weren't supposed to bring it out, but some kind of way people kept getting the game board. Don't y'all think they made that movie for a reason? Thank you. Thank you. It's called Jumanji, y'all. They even got a new part to it. I think it's a new version. That's what I'm talking about. Now, to me, the newer version wasn't as funny as the old one that we had in the 90s. That one is funny, boy. But it just was funny, like, y'all can't even get out the game once you get in it. And then, now that I'm a grown woman and I see life, it's like, I'm not trying to be like the any game that looks suspicious. It's like, no, you win. I'm not playing. Y'all played it. Because they kept convincing people to get in the game with them just to get help to get out of the game. Imagine it. It would show some words on the screen of the game. Like, we probably just looked at it as words. What were these curses? It was something about that game. It wasn't a Ouija board, though. It was an ancient game that they shouldn't have been playing. Look, they were just innocent kids, y'all. But it started with the other little boy. I might watch it later. That was one of my favorites. I mean, they was unleashing things on the earth that, and the whole time, the people, that's what's messed up about it. The people bystanders in the town, they don't know what's going on. Oh, it's because a couple neighbors down the street. I don't know why they chose to show that part, but they were wealthy. What was the family's last name? I forgot. The Parishes. That's how much I know the movie. Shout out to, what's his name? The actor, y'all. Dang it, how did I forget his name? That's Miss Doubtfire, Robin Williams. He was hilarious in the first Jumanji. What was I saying? Yeah, the Parishes. His family's name was the Parish. And what's crazy, they really have a Parish family in the history of America. They really do. But I ain't gonna get off into that. This part is significant. Just things that were forbidden or forbidden knowledge, right? God tells in this ancient text, right? He tells Adam and Eve, do not eat. People just think, oh, he told them not to eat off the tree. No, 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 no. Y'all go back and go read that. Go reread it. It wasn't just a tree and a fruit like that. I thought that too. He said, do not, like, this is forbidden right here. Oh, what's forbidden, God? Yeah, when they be like, what God we talking about? This one when you're talking to me. The same one that spoke to him, Adam and Eve. And it was actually words of wisdom he spoke to them. But let's get a little deeper in it. I'm going to do a separate topic about it, though. He was like, do not eat off the tree of knowledge. Uh-oh, there go that word again. Do not eat off the tree of knowledge of both good and evil. That's exactly what it says. That was their instruction. That was their limit. Uh-oh, that's that word we fear. Limit. What is a limit? It's the age of freedom. We do what we want. Limit. Limit. I do not want y'all to touch this right here. Because this right here bears the fruit of both good, and evil. You have to go back and reread that for yourself. I didn't say it means anything. I'm just saying this God that they think is so terrible when we talk about him actually forewarned mankind years ago, as the story goes. I know there was more involved, Seth and Lilith. I'm not here to break all of that down at one time. I thought that alone was interesting, just focusing on the word knowledge for a second. What it means spiritually, mentally, however we look at the word knowledge. It means to know something. And then why is the last part the word ledge? Ledge. Have you ever caught that or noticed that? It's the word know first, Know. And then it's the word ledge, Ledge. What is a ledge? All I know is a ledge is something, if you stand too close to the edge of the ledge, you can fall off. Knowledge is some form of elevator in itself. It don't need no help. Go ahead and let that person get a piece of knowledge. Go ahead in the next step, let that person begin to apply that knowledge, right? Because, like, if they'll say what we don't know don't hurt us, also shed light on who a person became after they begin to learn something. You got to make it fair. Because God tried to make it fair at the beginning. He told us, I don't want y'all to have the knowledge of both good and evil. I just want you to know good and what good is. And everything is good because I made it good. But don't try to touch this fruit right here that has evil. It's the knowledge of good and evil. See, that's just the knowledge. Imagine them just had knowing evil or knowing. That's what it was, good and evil, no in between, the knowledge of good and evil. So imagine knowing only good. Just like when we're born today, it's still the same thing. When you come into the world, you don't know nothing. You don't know what's good or not. That's what I'm saying. You just know what's good. But it's like some main curse here. And he wasn't playing. I read that too. It was like, oh yeah, after that happened, there were curses. It's like it's still there. Like everybody gets to that point where now they do know evil. Know. And it's not because they invited, ladies and gentlemen. It's not because they went out seeking it. What baby came out the womb saying, I'm going to seek evil for the rest of my life? Let's be honest about this. Nobody just wakes up like, I'm going to go seek. I'm not saying starting a life that way. No, like all of this is, that's the thing about knowledge again. It's taught or self-taught in a way where no matter how you try to make something look, even to a child, they're going to pick up on whatever that is in their own way. Tell me I'm wrong here. Like you could say, look, child, this is how you tie your shoe. And show them the same way for 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? You can show them your way, but they are still picking up on your way in their own way. That's what I'm saying. Knowledge is deep. You just teaching the knowledge is not everything. How is this person picking up on the knowledge? And a good teacher is going to notice those transitions, like that person is catching on. A good teacher also might be a little more patient. It depends on what you're teaching about, because you might not have time for that person to not catch on. Hey, I said don't touch fire. You're going to burn your hand. This is not something I need to be able to tell you 5 times. I need you to catch it right here. So I might be a little more assertive with what I'm saying with that right there. Right? If you're a teacher, you're a parent, you're damn sure a teacher at certain points. And that's why I say every teaching moment is on another level depending on what you are teaching about. I need you to catch it the first 2 times that I teach you this. This ain't like tying your shoe where it can take you 5 weeks to learn. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with it. I'm a patient mom and teacher, but when it come to touching fire, that's a lesson I need you to catch on at the beginning. Right? Or touching certain things. That's how God look at it, with his children. It's like, okay, it burned you, didn't it? He might be standing right there after something burned. It burned you, didn't it? It hurt, didn't it? Didn't I tell you? Okay, but he did try to tell them. They keep trying to break this down. Well, eat the fruit. It doesn't matter. But let's look at what happened, though. That does matter, but I wouldn't stay stuck there, like what the woman did, where the man was. I do know it says they became conscious. Like, do we pay attention to that part? They was just suddenly conscious, literally, knowledge. Now you know something. You done had some type of experience, and now you know evil, which I try to keep the people away from. You done had a little experience of it, and God already know what to do to people. If it was so evil is one of those things it's easy to get in, I'm sure, hard to get out of. They say that about trouble, but it's like, what is evil? It's trouble. It's more trouble because it don't even come as that. It comes in a form of knowledge. See, good has a knowledge to it, but so does evil. That's the thing about this, y'all. What I've been catching on to. You know what I mean? Both of them are a form of knowledge. I don't care. I don't care what you say about it. There's good knowledge, there's evil knowledge. That's what I'm saying. Like, how we're going to be mad at any species or anything about the truth. It's just tapping back into that. I don't want to say level of consciousness, but just that consciousness that tells us, like, hey, I am naturally aware of evil, and it's probably because evil exists now. Like, I'm aware of it. That's just something none of us could fight about society. Like, hey, that's out here. I guess people didn't know what I meant when I said we coexist sometimes. They don't mean, that's like you being a shark in the ocean trying to control everything. Like, bro, there are other species in the ocean who that stay home too. And the shark plays this role out there in that ecosystem, and every other organism out there. The shark just don't be out there taking over the whole ocean every day. Like, that's how I look at my life. Like, hey, I'm coexisting. And I just wanted to get to the level where I can coexist with anything. That don't mean that you want to at any given moment, but if you put in that position, like, yeah, I can be a flower. I can be a sunflower over here with roses, sure. Coexisting. Like, we really still all need the same soil, same amount of water, sunlight every day. I'll be all right. But if I could choose, I'd rather be with the other sunflowers. Like, I don't mind. Roses are beautiful too. I can exist in this field. That's how I look at life. And it's actually enjoyable and easy for me to do. I just said, like, you wouldn't want to just do that anywhere. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes you coexist. Maybe it's in the jungle. Maybe it's in the wilderness. Maybe it's at work. You see what I'm saying? Like, you coexist with everybody. Everybody in jobs do not like all their co-workers and stuff like that. That's another thing. Everything at people's jobs, it's just like a lot of places of people's personal life now that we all blame it on the internet, but no, people should take more accountability. Because nothing goes on the internet unless somebody put it there. You see? Even with people jobs, like, nothing is private there no more. Like, people think, like, I'm sure everybody that go home from work every day talk about their day at home. Just imagine it. Plus we have social media. Plus we have, wow. I already gave my opinion about that. I just feel like certain jobs they shouldn't have a social. They shouldn't be allowed to have a personal social media account. We understand for work purposes and stuff like that. Business, advertising, promotion, or y'all have a website, a platform, a social media page. A lot of businesses do. That's where they should interact. That way, everybody's seeing in one hub what they doing. When everybody got personal accounts too, and plus work. But yeah, I think about that though. I'm like, if at one company everybody go home at the end of the night with that special person, even if it's their dog, like this how my day was today. Everybody's going home talking about how their days are. The home at the end of the day is where you go back and unwind and relax. Last I checked, you held it together all day at a job, outside, in public, in society, right? Every day you go out there. Because nobody can just live under a shell like Patrick every day. So every day you go out there, you're holding it together. And I do applaud people because really, I don't know what everybody is going through because everybody don't always know what I'm going through. That's why I do try to be gentle with people. I'm more gentle if I say nothing at all. I know that too. Like if I don't even bother you, I don't know what kind of day you're having already. I'm just a bypasser in the community, or I'm just here to get my groceries and go home today. I don't have to say good morning to anybody. Maybe me being more out the way is actually giving people their peace too. That's a form of peace that people don't appreciate, but they have to be careful with that too. Cause it's like, would you prefer just a chaotic environment all the time? I hate to say it like that, but it's like you're better off just reserving your peace at the end of the day, not just for you, but for other people too. Cause you never know what kind of day they having, right? That's why you be having aggressive drivers on the road rage drivers. You just never know what kind of day somebody having. But back to what I was saying. Don't ain't when you get home the place where you unwind and talk about your day at the end of the day. hmm It is. And like I said, if you don't have kids you talk to about your day, your spouse, your neighbors, it was some good times in my life where sometimes I talk to the neighbors. They might see you coming in from work. Baby, how was your day? That ain't even your family member. It's like a neighbor. People like to see hardworking people and they just speak and they're nice people and they're like, how was your day? And you might go into full detail. You might just yeah. You might do that one facial gesture like, it was just say, I'm going in, I'm finna go cook dinner and go to sleep. Shit. Neighbor already know, oh, work must have been hard today. Or you just like, oh, it was a pretty good day. We did a luncheon and we had a meeting and everybody were changing some things. I got a raise. Sometimes it was good news. But the last I checked, home is the place where you can boo and unwind after work. I think God was trying to show me too. I was at the store the other day. No offense to who it was, but these guys definitely had on their work clothes. You could tell they was a little dirty. They had on hats, okay? And it was just like probably more towards the evening, so I already knew they was off work. I don't even know why I was looking at people like that, but yeah, I mean, if I had to wait in line, I'm just there. So, bro had like a 12 pack of something. Just kind of took me back some days, which I never drink 12 packs personally, but I understand unwanted exactly what they do too. I never got dirty in construction jobs, but I probably helped with construction cleanup before and stuff. Steel toe boot, hard hat type jobs, like vests and everything. I never had to get dirty like them though. Like they never would let me. I will tell their testimony. I don't know. When I worked those type of jobs, it's like I ain't saying I wasn't at work. You gotta watch what you say on here. Like you literally at work though. You at work. You in uniform. That's just a sweet thing. I can say like I had a shovel trying to do something. They like, girl, what is you doing? Give me this shovel. They just would try to give me the easiest thing in there to do. And you like, what happened to that kind of love, man? Because I ain't forgot about it. I still appreciate it to this day. Those guys would be proud the type of stuff I'm trying to do now. Even if I'm not fully doing it. Like, they saw me out there. on whenever it was, some weeks at the construction sites with them, or helping with set up events in big coliseums or get ready for games. I worked for certain stadiums and stuff like that in my past. Just, I like all my experiences. All of them helped shape me into everything I am. Seriously. It's just time to shake back a little bit. It's encouraging to think about when we apply that knowledge, right? A little bit from when you was a janitor. A little bit from when you watched them YouTube videos and fixed that sink and light bulb by yourself. You know what I mean? All of that applied together, though. You might say, what can that build? All them different scattered experiences. They're experiences, though. You can scatter them all you want to. That's like you scatter eggs, it still turn into something, bro. It turns still, it's still egg, and it turns, it turns actually a little more portionate. Like you got a whole pan of scrambled eggs, cause you done scrambled everything. That ain't changing nothing. It's still in the skillet cooking. So those experiences, we can scatter them, we can forget about them and say, no, that don't matter. I used to do that 5 years ago. Woo, woo. But I started off saying people leave work and they come home to unwind. Leave people alone. That man was at the store. He had a case of something. I'm like, well, I couldn't even judge him. Like, I'm quietly thinking to myself, like, they hands dirty and everything. He was with his buddies. They probably finna go home, go home and unwind. It was the weekend too. Probably like a Friday. I say, I remember them days, boy. Like, people don't know what I be thinking to myself silently, really. It's not always the worst. Like, I be applauding people in secret. Like, I know you probably had a hard day, kids at home, because he had a 12-pack of Modelo's or something. One of those beers. Okay, so that's an example. People go home. That is their space. After they get off work. Not everybody goes straight home, though. That's another thing. I had that bad. I'd be at work like, woo, I'm ready to get off all day long. Get off, ain't got home to, I do not like, I don't miss going without a car right now. I just be more of a busy bee. That's why I love what I do at home too. Help me whenever I do tell that side of my story. Like, it was helping me the whole time because people didn't know I was more of a fast-paced person. I ain't gonna blame it on cars now, but if you just more mobile all the time, like, yeah, there was no way. The entrepreneur part still came out of me because you can still be on it with a car. But see, if you don't have the moments and time that you taking out to sit down and be able to organize and focus and like that, and I just say without a vehicle, you know what I'm saying? I was able to more pin shot, you know what I'm saying, focus on some things, period. I'm never wasting my time either when I got a car though. It's just, like I said, I'm more busy bee than people think. And that like, I'm at work so bad. I can't wait to get home. And so I'm ready to go to sleep because you feel like that at work. You ready to go home and unwind. And then I done got off work. Next thing you know, you done made 3 or 4 stops before you pick up the keys. You can pick up the keys, you can stop somewhere else to get dinner. I just wouldn't get home sometimes till like 8, 9 o'clock. And work been over since 4:30. But see, without a car, I take that lift. I like my new maturity. It's just funny because I knew myself. And it's funny sometimes, but now when I get off work, I mess around and go straight home because I'm using the Uber or Lyft. I ain't finna be out here messing around. Back then though, I ain't getting home to 8, 9. I done stopped at 5 stores and got the keys, visited 3 people, and the whole time I was at work, I'm like, man, I'm ready to go home. I just think that's funny. So, we know that about people that have jobs and go outside of their homes to go to work. They be ready to go home and unwind, be with their families. They dog be waiting on them, everything. When you more work from home, you still want to unwind. I done had whole customer service from home jobs. Like, and when I would get off there and log the computer off and everything, I go 2 steps and I'm in my room and I would go straight to sleep some days. And it was just a blessing that way too, because like, You leave your desk, you leave your office area at home, go get in your bed. But what make people think you not finna unwind just cause you off your from home job? I've been laughing, not at people, but it just be like what they're laughing at. It just come down to like everybody got a different perception to things. If you work from home, you know you just did. Even if you're from home student, that too, cause I did that too. After you did your studies and turned in your paper and did your class, you finna unwind at home, even though you went to school from home. You finna get off that device for a second, or maybe you've been on schoolwork for 4 hours straight, so now you're on YouTube. But they don't be saying that part. You can't just point out, okay, this person do this. Sometimes people earn what they do. If you point out they work, you can see that. Because if they going to work, you're going to clearly see that. Like, I just physically, like, when they got to leave their house to go to work. But if a person working at home, you're going to see that too. And there's going to be a time where they're not working and they want to unwind and be comfortable at home. Who is in work mode even at home? Me, because I work for myself. But those moments when I'm unwinding, you can't get that twisted either. Everybody going to do that after work. I mean, I used to turn the music up in the parking lot at the job, waving at everybody. Bye, y'all. It depends on where you're working, though. You can't do that everywhere. Like, my old warehouse jobs, though, are just jobs where it was a lot of labor. Definitely. I'm in the parking lot, music up, shades on, everything, right after we clock out. Not getting home to 9 o'clock, but just because a person work from home, don't have a car, switched it up a little bit. Like, what do people think? I'ma still unwind when I'm through working, doing anything. I wouldn't care if it's scrubbing the walls all day. Now, after I'm done scrubbing them, you finna hear that music on. I'm probably finna have a glass of wine. Because I just scrub walls all day. That still work, even if you did it at home. They be trying to separate the two. Like, no, you didn't work no long 12-hour job today. You don't get to unwind at home. Like, who told you that? You don't know what I did. But anyways, just like, that's why people, what they used to do at home stayed in the home. They had record players. Back then, they had the record players. Y'all know what a record player is? Back then, when they got off work, the food already cooked for their husband. The laundry already folded. The kids already done ate and had their homework done because the wife didn't have to go to work all day. All that stuff is already done when the men get off. That's how it was back then. They're going to cut on the record player. She got his dinner ready. This has never changed. People unwind when they get off work. I know politicians do. People like, they have hard jobs. I encourage them too. When y'all off work, I know I ain't got to tell them. I know they take advantage of their vacations and they relax when they need to. But people just try to make your relaxed moments look like parties all the time. Well, I relax really hard. That's what I would tell people. Like, because I don't see why, even if you're an entrepreneur, you don't deserve to unwind. They thought because you work at home, you don't. Okay, if you're not doing any work in that moment, you're unwinding. You're at home. They tried to blend our work as creators with what we do at home. That's where they out of line, bro. If that's a person true job from home, yeah, baby, they're going to have moments where they unwind. Why would they just be in work mode? They don't even do that at work. They let them people go home. Even the ones I know work 7 days a week or once new, they got a break. They get a break. Some people work, I done seen all kind of shifts though. Like some people work 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. I done had jobs like that. You gotta know, don't just look for signs of the person's job. Jobs is different. It's an opportunity right now. Split shifts, because I like to work those sometimes. I didn't say I'm gonna do it for sure, but I like to work them sometimes. And then people have shifts where split shift is like 4 or 5 hour shift. Okay. Then some people, I've worked 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. It depends on what you're doing. People are funny. But they want to look for signs of who working. Like, come on, bro. Some be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks out. For a whole 2 weeks, your neighbor see you. That's what I'm talking about. And then 2 weeks they see you working, but they thought you got fired after the first 2 weeks because they seen you with a uniform on, going back and forth crazy, working all them hours. And then they see you at home 2 weeks with their nosy butts. And they like, yeah, that person must have lost their job. It's like, why are you worried about it? Like, I'm glad it's getting to where it make me laugh. Or that person could work from home. Like, you don't know. You just was looking for sign. Well, they ain't got a car. They ain't working. They stuck. Like, really? People work from home. They can actually save a lot of money, too. No car, work from home. Get everything delivered to you. Go somewhere only when needed. Tell me you can't save no money like that. And you couponing too, shopping more cheaper. Cause when it comes to survival, like some people they like, oh, I only buy Cottonelle, for example. They just would not use toilet paper if it's not Cottonelle, bro. Like for their own personal house. I mean, they work hard, they deserve it. Let them buy whatever toilet paper they want to. It ain't the internet business what toilet paper people use, but I'm saying people have their own preferences. But me, I'm the type like, bro, it doesn't have to be Cottonelle. I might regret it because if they're known for their thick, fluffy, the rolls just last longer. I might get a pack of four for $1. I've been noticing with them though, like, bro, that pack is gone in like one day in my household. Like, you might as well not even buy those. But so some people shop for the value is what I'm talking about versus just like, oh, let me grab some toilet paper for today or for the next 2 days just because it's $1. You feel me? You learn where it's smart to shop in bulk, blah, blah, blah. I was just saying still. Like, I don't ask all my coworkers every day, what tissue y'all use? We all make $25 an hour. Like, I ain't gonna say it ain't never crossed my mind to ask them. What body wash do you use? Sis, she might look at me like, what? You and I make the same amount. We work the same hours. What toilet paper do you buy for your household? I might start asking like the podcaster in me, like I might be shocked at some of the answers I get. They be like, Teddy Sherry, I never thought about it. No, what tissue do y'all use at home? We all make the same amount. In some states, it's against the law to discuss your pay. I am aware. It was just a joke, but you can't be discussing y'all pay on a job site. Have y'all ever heard of that? I forgot what this called. You're not supposed to do that. Like, be like, how much you make? Back in my childish days, I was probably doing it. Like, and that's at the beginning when you probably like first start. It'd be like that spark up conversation with some of your co-workers, like, how much y'all make? And that's why they don't want people doing it, because they might say a pay rate that you don't make, or you say a pay rate they don't make. They like, I make 17 an hour. You tell them you make 25. Just jobs be funny to me. You tell and your coworker like, how you making $25 and they just hired you last week? See, it just starts stuff. That's why they don't want people doing it. Then you might have to tell them, well, I got hired with a degree, or I got hired with 10 years experience. Like, but they might feel like, I've been here longer than you though. I put in all these hours. Like, people don't really understand money. Like, if you hired a higher quote unquote asset, like a more valuable asset to the company, you might pay them a little more. You don't need to be in there asking how much everybody get paid. But my main point is people are comfortable. They should be. Why would you be going home to chaos just trying to work? If you have some type of partner or spouse, I'm sure they don't want to come home to stress. Like, you just had a stressful day at work. Because, there's some stay-at-home dads, stay-at-home moms. It's different for every family. My main point, though, families could be their healthiest, if people don't have to come bring stress home from work. That's a whole nother topic. They don't want to take that accountability, do they? No job wants to take the accountability. Like, oh yeah, we stressed Jack out, and Jack went home and hit his son. Yeah, they don't want to talk about that. But I wonder how much is happening. You feel me? And they say not stressing people out on employment. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it matters. You should try to treat your employees with the best, utmost respect. I mean, don't you want them to continue working for them, or you just want to keep holding their pay over their head? It sounds stupid. I mean, it's not really funny. Like, we talk a lot about people not wanting to go home to stress, or me preaching that I think it's important for people to be comfortable off the clock at home, or why? What are you working for? To go home and be stressed and take the stress out on the family? And then just everybody tell you, well, you need to switch jobs, you need to switch careers. No, they can stop messing with you at work. That's what work rights are for. You know what I mean? Or they be like, you don't go to work to make friends, you're there to make money. We've all heard that quote before. We go to make money, get our credentials, stuff like that, get our promotions, not to make friends. Okay, if that's true, why can't people ignore things when it bothers them at work? Like, this stuff does affect people. If there's a gossiping crew, or the pay is not fair, or whatever's going on at work, people be going through some stuff. If it's any type of harassment, I just want people to know, when you stress them at work, y'all don't know the other lives. You want to say, oh, that person went crazy, they should have switched their job. No, what was happening at their job? That is crazy. That's crazy. That can whole mentally affect somebody, because that was their way of financially providing for their family. So, as much as I believe people should be able to go home and relax after work, I mean, because what are they working for? It's just funny for me to think about, like, what are you working for if you can't come home and have peace? And trust me, the boss doesn't want to hear about it. Like, yeah, I'm having this issue and that issue at home. Like, that's not what the most supervisor's job is for. But don't worry, in China, I heard they actually have more. They're becoming more normalized with having therapists on site at people's jobs. What did I read that about? I think it was China, but more people are incorporating that actually. They're taking the money to invest in it, and I think it's a great thing. A lot of these companies could benefit from it, like have a therapist on site. Yes, at work. They have it at schools for people, schools, universities, training centers. Why not have therapists on site? Hi, babe. Why not have them on site for jobs as well? Because people be going through stuff at home. Thank you, hon. Hold on. Sister's going to bring it in here for you. I got you. You going to hang out with mama? It's cool. I'm just up talking to my viewers. Are you ready to go to school? Hey, hey, are you going to school? No, not yet. I want to do my scared. You're scared of school? The kids stop. Look. You're going to see the other kids. Kids. Yeah. Okay. It's bye cool. Bye, Mom. You're leaving me again? Bye bye. You're leaving me again? Thank you. I forgot she had her own area right here. To add the keyboard. What's up, you guys? I'm live. I can't believe I went this long about it. But what I'm saying, if people cannot go home and relax after work, what are we doing to the people? Okay, so we encourage therapy at home. But like I said, there's companies already normalizing having therapists right there at the workplace for employees that, and I don't know if it's free or not. I think it is something that comes with the employment, and I think that's a great idea. Hmm. Some of these companies, for sure, with what they do, they need therapists there to talk to too, like on site. And I think it's very biased to say people that work from home don't deserve to relax at home. It sometimes, like, work is work. That's where I'm gonna leave this topic stream tonight, though, y'all. Remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I hope you guys get something out of this segment. I am gonna reshare it, no worries, on my community tab. Feel free to tune in to previously recorded insightful topics just like these in our live section. I don't know if y'all been experiencing it, but when you click on the video in the live section, if it doesn't allow you to, you have to click on it from the where I where I share things in the community post section. That's where you click on it. That's why I share those. Um, that's how you access these audios. And I don't know if I ever mentioned it before, but I didn't know if people was catching on. That's why I share them over there. Because for some reason, if I just go to the live section and click on it, it's like the videos don't even play. I gotta go whole reshare them in another area, but that's okay. But that's in our community. That's why we encourage you guys to subscribe, because you're still able to see everything I post when I do the shorts and the videos like these, the live streams. You have to actually access it from the of You Will Make It TV, where we share everything. Most times you'll just get a notification every time I post something, so you kind of know there's a. But that's what I'm working with right now, though. We appreciate you guys' support, and until next time, don't forget to subscribe. You Will Make It TV.